शिव शक्ति गौर भक्तविंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव शक्ति गौर भक्तविंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव शक्ति गौर भक्तविंद। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Okay, so today is Thursday. It is the 5th of February. It is Govinda Masa, Falguna Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Chaviti Tithi. There are no Vaishnava events today in the calendar. So tomorrow is the appearance day of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami. Okay, and tomorrow is fasting until our afternoon. So just giving heads up. But apart from that, today there are no events. So we move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreya Muni speaking to Vidura about the creation. So Vidura inquired to speak about the time factor. So Maitreya Muni, so he has mentioned that this Kalena Abhyakta Mutina, starting from this time is the unmanifested form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in due course of time, the Lord creates this Mahatattva, and from the Mahatattva, three material modes of nature, it would exhibit through where this ahankara is manifesting from these three material modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And then after saying that, he also speaks about the 9 different kinds of creation. And then out of those, in this every creation at every stage, it requires for the interactions between the material elements and all three material modes of nature, the time factor and the energy of the Supreme Lord. Kala Dravya Gunairasya Trividaha Sapratisankramaha, 9 kinds of the creation and 3 kinds of annihilation. Trividaha Sapratisankramaha. So within that sequence, in the beginning, in the first creation, the Mahatattva got created, Abjastu Mahataha Sargo Gunavaishamyam Atmanaha. And in the second, Dvitiyaha Ahamo Yatra Dravijnana Kriyodayaha. This Ahankara, it got manifested from the Mahatattva, and where the interactions of Dravya Jnana Kriyodaya, they are manifested in due course of time. So that is the second. And then in the third creation, all the material elements got created along with the tanmatras, or the sense perceptions. So both sargaha tritiyestu tanmatra dravya sektiman. And in the fourth creation, the senses got created. Chaturtha indriya sargo yastu jnana kriyatmakaha. Along with that, the knowledge, how those senses get to be performed, how they how the senses can be performed. Jnana kriyatmakaha. That is the fourth creation. So that is both sargaha tritiyastu tanmatra dravya sektiman chaturtha indriya sargo yastu jnana kriyatmakaha. And then in the fifth creation, so Maitreya Muni is speaking about the fifth creation and the sixth creation. In the fifth creation, from the mode of goodness, all the demigods got created. From the mode of goodness, demigods got created, and also the mind, along with the mind. And then in the sixth creation, the mode of ignorance, and where this ignorance um, or the avidya that was created. That means identifying oneself as a body instead of the spirit soul. That is the mode of ignorance. That is the sixth creation. Okay, likewise, Maitreya Muni speaking about the fifth and sixth creations. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 10 and verse number 17. वैकारिको देवसर्गः पञ्चमो यन्मयं मनः षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो यस्तु अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभो वैकारिको देवसर्गः Vaikarika is the interaction of the mode of goodness. Vaikariko Devasargaha. Demigods are controlling deities. Sargaha, that is the creation. So they were created. Vaikariko Devasargaha. That is in the Panchamo Mayam Manaha. Panchama, fifth. That is the fifth creation. Mayam, that which Mayam is sum total. Manaha, the mind also got created. Devasargaha and also here Manaha. Vaikariko Devasargaha Panchamo Yenmayam Manaha. That is the fifth creation. Sastastu Tamasaha Sargo. Sastastu in the sixth creation. Tamasaha, the mode of ignorance, Sargo that got created. Yestu Abuddhi Krutaha Prabhoho. Abuddhi Krutaha. Abuddhi Krutaha is the foolish one who thinks the knowledge which he has gained through which he identifies himself as the body instead of the soul. That is called abuddhikritaha. Okay, so that comes like that is manifested through the external energy of the Lord. Abuddhikritaha. Prabhoho of the master. Okay, likewise Maitreya saying fifth and sixth creations. Vaikariko devasargaha panchamo yenmayam manaha sastastu tamasaha sargo yastu abuddhikritaha prabho. That translation. The fifth creation is that of the controlling deities by the interaction of the mode of goodness, of which the mind is the sum total. The sixth creation is the ignorant darkness of the living entity by which the master acts as a fool. Is the purport by Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I can request Meena Mataji to read the purport, please.
The demigod in the higher planet are called Devas because they are all devotees of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Bhakta Smato Deva Asurastad Viprayaha. All the devotees of Lord Vishnu are Devas or demigods, whereas all others are Asuras. That is the division of the Devas and the Asuras. Devas are situated in the mood of goodness of material nature, whereas the Asuras are situated in the mood of passion or ignorance. The demigods the demigods or controlling deity are entrusted with departmental management of all the different functions of the material world. For example, one of our sense organs, the eyes. The eye is controlled by light. Light is distributed by the sun rays, and their controlling deity is the sun. Similarly, mind is controlled by the moon. All all other senses, both for working and for acquiring knowledge, are controlled by the different demigods. The demigods are assistants of the Lord in the management of material affairs. After the creation of the demigod, all entities are covered by the darkness of ignorance. Each and every living being in the material world is conditioned by the mentality of loading it over the resources of material nature. Although a living entity is the master of the material world, he is conditioned by ignorance, by the false impression of being the proprietor of material things. The energy of the Lord called avidya is the bewildered factor of the conditioned soul. The material nature is called avidya or ignorance, but the devotee of the Lord engage in pure devotional service. This energy become vidya or pure knowledge. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. The energy of the Lord transforms from Mahamaya to Yogamaya and appears to pure devotee in her real feature. The material nature therefore appears to function in three basis as the creative principle of the material world, as ignorance and as knowledge, material world as ignorance and as knowledge, as discussed in the previous, sorry, as discussed, as discussed in the previous verse. In the fourth creation, the power previous verse. In the fourth creation, the power of knowledge is also created. The conditional soul are not original full, original fools, but by the influence of the avidya, function of material nature, they are made fools, and thus they are unable to utilize knowledge in the proper channel. By the influence of darkness, the conditional soul forgets his relationship with the Supreme Lord and is overwhelmed by attachment, hatred, pride, ignorance, and false identification, the five kind of illusion that cause material bondage. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Right. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so here Prabhupada is describing about the consciousness, how if it is in mode of goodness or mode of passion and the mode of ignorance. Udbham gachanti sattvasta madhye tishtanti rajasaha jagana guna vrittista adho gachanti tamasaha. So this is the demigods, they're always in that upper planetary systems, and people are living entities in the mode of passion, they're in the middle planetary systems like the earth, and the living entities with lower consciousness, they are in the lower planetary systems. The demigods here, they are the devas, they are the elevated souls than the human beings. They're all devotees of Lord Vishnu. So Vishnu Bhaktaha Smruto Daiva Asuraha Tadviparyayaha. Anything who is not Vishnu Bhakta, they're all called Asuras because they have got some kind of desires. I wanted to become a mystic, I wanted to achieve these siddhis, I wanted to get some kind of powers. So some people, these are all kind of dominating over the material nature. So what is the purpose? I want to do something. I wanted to be different from others. But here, the natural constitutional position of a living entity is the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? To render service. If he is not rendering service to Supreme Lord, he will be rendering service to the Maya or material nature or society or a family or a cat or a dog, like that. So here, Vishnu Bhakta Smruto Daiva. Anyone who is rendering service to the Vishnu, they're all called Daivas. And these devotees are these Daivas are demigods. They are the appointed directors in this material manifestation. So therefore, each one is given a particular function to maintain. So here it is mentioned all devotees of Lord Vishnu are devas or demigods, whereas all others are asuras. There is no further whether this goddess or this god or Lord Shiva or goddess Durga or Brahma or Ganesh or something else or Kali or Bhairava, so many other things. So it is mentioned here. Asuraha tad viparyayaha. Viparyayaha means anything opposite to the devotees of Vishnu. They're all asuras. Okay, that is the division of the devas and asuras. Now, devas are situated in the mode of goodness of material nature, whereas the asuras are situated in the mode of passion or ignorance. So this is how we can distinguish the people in this material world. It is not directly we discriminate the person, but however, based on their habits, based on their desires, and their consciousness, the way of language they speak, and so the day-to-day activities that exhibit in what kind of mode they are existed, either passion, ignorance, or goodness. So that is the difference. Straight away we can understand by their words. Prabhupada used to say, how do you know if a person is a fool or intelligent? So it is not by the dress they are having a nice tilak and a nice saffron dress and having like that. But when they speak the words tell that whether he is a devotee or not devotee, whether he is Krishna conscious or not. What he is speaking about, whether he is speaking in the knowledge or not the knowledge. What is not knowledge? Um, the knowledge he speak. Krishna says, "Adam amanitvam, adam bhitvam, ahimsa, kshantirajhavam, acharyopasanam, sautyam, stairyam, atma, vinigraha." There are 5 shlokas Krishna speaks, and then saying all those things. Evidjnanamiti proktam. These are all called knowledge. Anything opposite to that, this is ajnanam yadito anyatha. That is ignorance, avidya. Okay, so this is devotees of the Lord. They are always situated in the knowledge, mode of goodness. They are all the devotees of Krishna or Vishnu. And again, it is also mentions yasyasti bhaktir bhagvatya kinchana sarvaihi gunaihi samasate sarvaihi gunaihi tatra samasate suraha. Again, devotees of the Lord is mentioned. They have got all good qualities. Hara bhaktasya kuto mahadgunaha. If he is not a devotee of the Lord, then how can any good qualities would exist within that person? Harava bhaktasya kuto mahadgunaha. How can? Because manoratena dhavati asato bahihi. Their mind is always attracted towards the material nature. Asato bahihi. I want to enjoy that. I want to go here. I want to roam there. I want to eat that. They're all being pulled by the material nature in different ways. Asato bahihi. So they are all harava bhakta sikuto mahatguna. How can any good qualities would exist within them? So this is again from the reflections from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, devotees of the Lord given the functions of so they are the with departmental management of all the different functions of the material world. They are given charge. For example, here, sense organs, the eye is controlled by the light. Light is distributed by the sun rays, and their controlling deity is the sun god. Without sun, our eyes cannot work. Without light, our eyes cannot work. This is the dependency. It is interdependency. Similarly, the mind is controlled by the moon. Mind is controlled by the moon, and all other senses, but for the working and for the acquiring knowledge, are controlled by the different demigods. The false ego is dominated by Lord Shiva, intelligence is dominated by Lord Brahma, and mind is dominated by the moon, like that. And then there are so many other demigods. And sometimes, whenever people, if they have got some problems, then if we go to the Brahmanas, they will say, you perform this puja, that puja, like that. So it is just only for one particular thing. But when we come to Krishna consciousness, all demigods are with Krishna only. They are the serving agents of the Lord. So demigods are assistants of the Lord in the management of material affairs. After the creation of the demigods, all entities are covered by the darkness of ignorance. After the creation of the demigods, all entities are covered by the darkness of ignorance. So Sasajagri Adita Mishra Atita Mishra Mahamoham cha Moham cha Ajnanam Tamasaha. So these are the few things that Brahma has created by which the living entity are covered by this darkness of ignorance. So Sasajagre Andita Mishra Atata Mishra Mahamoham cha Moham cha Ajnanam Tamasaha. Many things. It will condition the living entity whoever appears in this material world, takes birth by material body. They're all covered. And each and every living being in the material world is conditioned by his mentality of lording it over the resources of material nature. Although this is Prakrutya Nita Svaya, the Krishna says that कामस्तैर्हृज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्ते अन्यदेवताः तं तं नियममास्ताय प्रकृत्या नीताः स्वया. For example, how do we understand? So if I wanted to become an engineer, I wanted to study from the beginning from the schools. How many years we study for? Around 20 until 21 or 23 years, one will educate himself to become a one particular professional, either engineer or a doctor like that. And the rest of the life he will work within that profession. And if a person is educating in the Vedic sciences, he will become a devotee of the Lord, peaceful and no more hankering, material hankerings. This is Vedic knowledge. In the olden days, the knowledge means they used to go to the schools, gurukuls, where they learn all this knowledge from the teachers. Then he became a Vidyavinaya Sampanna. Vidyavinaya Sampanne Brahmane Havigastini Shuni Chayo Supake Cha Panditaha Samadarshina. He became a Vidyavinaya Sampanna, finally Pandita. That is the real knowledge. It gives the happiness, real happiness. But people leaving that real knowledge aside and everyone are educating in the occupations for the bodily survival. This is called avidya. Okay, so whenever tam tam nima mastaya prakrutya nita swaya, in such a way they are conditioned. They're conditioned. A doctor cannot work like a uh, engineer. Engineer cannot work like a lawyer, like that. So they are conditioned. And then when they come to the condition, this material nature, when if we have observed our life and until 20 years or 25 years, life goes smoothly. After that, because we wanted to get married and then do so many other things, and then they will slowly come into the clutches of the Maya, and then Maya will put them into different kinds of troubles. So many diseases, mental problems, body problems, family problems, relation problems. So many things will come into the picture. This is Prakrityanita Svaya conditioned by the material nature. That is by his mentality of lording it over the resources of material nature. All the living entities, the master of the material world, he is conditioned by the ignorance. Aham mamiti, aham mamiti. This is I am the body and this belongs to me. Likewise, so this is false impression of being the proprietor of material things. And the energy of the Lord called avidya. This is the external energy. This is Vishnu Bhakti Paraprokta Tritiya Vishnu Shakti Paraprokta Tritiya Shakti Rishyate Avidya Karma Sanyaya Avidya Karma Sanyaya. This is Tritiya Shakti Rishyate. Avidya is the living entities where they belongs to the superior nature of the Lord. And avidya is the material energy. And living entities are marginal energy. These are all different energies of the Lord. Superior energy, marginal energy, inferior energy. Living entities, because they are in the marginal stuff, marginal line, so they may tend to fall down and come in, influenced by the material energy. Material energy is the avidya, bewildering factor of the conditioned souls. The material nature is called avidya, ignorance, but the devotees of the Lord, they will our Lord engage in the pure devotional service. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakriti mashritaha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, where daivim prakriti mashritaha. Krishna says in that daivim prakriti, it is Prabhupada translate it as Radharani. Daivim prakriti ashritaha. Devotees, they approach Radharani to render service unto their lordships, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Radha Gokulananda. So this becomes this energy, which is like the ignorance, this energy becomes avidya, whereas the pure devotional service, this energy becomes the vidya or the pure knowledge. This is about the devotees, and before that one, this is about the conditioned souls, avidya. Okay, this is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The energy of the Lord transforms from Maha Maya to Yoga Maya and appears to pure devotees in her real feature. This is Daivim Prakriti. Again, Prabhupada gives from the Pancharatra that Narada Muni said, Pancharatra, that is that Purana, saying that Radharani is the Daivi Prakriti. Her reflection in this material world is Durga. She makes the living entities to think that they are the material bodies. Okay, that is again, it is her nature only. The material nature therefore appears to function in the three phases. One is the creative principle of the material world, and as ignorance and as knowledge. These are three principles, as disclosed in the previous verse. The fourth creation, the power of the knowledge, is also created. That is the Sargo Yestu Jnana Kriyatmakaha. Chaturtha Indriyaha Sargo Yestu Jnana Kriyatmakaha. Jnana Kriya Atmakaha. What happens when it is Yestu Jnana Kriyatmakaha? कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे द्रव्यज्ञानक्रिया आश्रयाः बध्नन्ति नित्यदा मुक्तं बध्नन्ति, he will be conditioned when he has got that knowledge. So this is the jnana kriyatmaka, how to engage his senses to perform some activity, then he will be conditioned. So people, they learn some technologies, and because they work a particular field, because they have to work only that one and think that I can only work and I can earn money in this field, and then they will go ahead and then just work for someone and get money and be satisfied. Okay, that is how the people get entangled. Yestu jnana kriyatmakaha. Okay, the conditioned souls are not originally fools, but by the influence of the avidya function of material nature, they are made fools. This is avidya karma sanyaya tritiya sektirishyate. And thus they are unable to utilize the knowledge in the proper channel. So by the influence of the darkness, the conditioned soul forgets his relationship with the Supreme Lord and is overwhelmed by attachment, hatred, pride, ignorance, and false identification. The five kinds of illusion that cause material bondage. Okay, so this is in the later on, Kapil Bhagwan describes how these different kinds of hatred, pride, ignorance, and the false identification, one after another, they will be conditioned. So we would see that one in the later on. Okay, this is of influence of mode of ignorance. So here it is described that वैकारिको देवसर्गः पंचमो यन्मयं मनः षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो यस्तु अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभो. Okay, so can I request dear devotees to recite this shloka, please, line by line. वैकारिको देवसर्गः
वैचारिको
सर्वः
देवसर्गः
पंचमो यन्मयं मनः
पञ्चमो यन्मयं मनः
षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो
षष्ठस्तमसः सर्गो
तमसः सर्गो
यस्तु अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभोः.
प्रभुः
Again, वैकारिको देवसर्गः
वैकारिको
वैखरिको
देवसर्गः
देवसर्गः
पंचमो यन्मयं मनः
पञ्चमोऽन्वयं मनः
षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो
षष्ठस्तु
षष्ठस्तमसः
येस्तु अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभोः.
यस्तु बुद्धिकृतः प्रभुः.
Once again, वैकारिको देवसर्गः
वैकारिको
देवसर्गः
देवसर्गः
पंचमो यन्मयं मनः
पञ्चमोऽन्वयं
मनः
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 षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो
Mahasargo
यस्तु अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभोः
यस्तु
Prabhu
प्रभुः
Prabhu
Beautiful. Take and request dear devotees, kindly take turns to recite. Raslila Mataji, would you like to go first, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisance or goes to Srila Prabhupada. Vyakariko deva sargaha panchamo yanmayam manaha shashtastu tamasa sargo yastva abuddhi krita prabho. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Mataji. Lalita Devi Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी वैकारको देवसर्गः पञ्चमो यन्मयं मनः सस्ताहुस्तमः सर्गो यस्तु अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभोः कृतः प्रभोः sorry प्रभुजी
Very beautiful, Mataji.
thank you प्रभुजी
Thank you. Swarup Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Vaikariko deva sargaha panchamo yan mayam manaha shastastu tamasa sargo yastu abuddhi krita prabho.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Devashish Prabhuji, please.
कृष्ण प्रभु वैकरिको देव सर्गः पंचमो यः मयाम मनः शस्ता तु तमसो सर्गो यस्तव अबुद्धि कर्ता प्रभः
Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Vaikariko deva sargaha panchamo yanmayam manaha shasthastu tamasaha sargo yastva abuddhi kritaha prabhoha. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Garingi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Vaikariko deva sargaha panchamo yanmayam manaha sastasu tamasaha sargo yasto buddhi kritaha prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Nice. Thank you, Mataji. Meenakshi Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण वैकारिको देवसर्गः पञ्चमो यन्मयं मनः षष्ठस्तु तमसो सर्गो यस् यस् यस्तु अबुद्धिकृतप्रभोः
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण वैकारिको देवसर्गः पञ्चमो यन्मयं मनः षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो यस्तु अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभुः हरे
Very nice.
कृष्ण
Thank you, Mataji. Sanchita Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण वैकारिको देव सर्गः पञ्चमो यन्मयं मनः षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो यस्त्व अबुद्धिकृतः प्रभोः हरे कृष्ण
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Would you also like to read translation, Mataji?
Thank you, Prabhu. The fifth creation is that of the controlling deities of the interactions of the mode of goodness, of which the mind is the sum total. The sixth creation is the ignorant darkness of the living entity by which the master acts as a fool. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you,
Prabhu,
Mataji.
in just quickly, in the Sanskrit part, the Devanagari part, the last line, it should be, I think there's a printing mistake, right? It's not this one, Prabhu, the Devanagari, Sanskrit part. Yeah, it should be Sha, right? It's written Pashtatstu, the second line, the first word of the second line.
This is Sastastu.
And it should be Shasta, but it's written, I think it's
Yeah,
printing mistake.
there should be
Yeah,
line here, a little bit.
yeah.
Sastastu.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's letter. Today letter to Tulsi, February 24th, 1971, Bombay. Can you request Swarup Prabhuji to read this letter, please?
Here, Prabhu. My dear Tulsidas, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your letter dated Neil, and I thank you very much for it. I'm so glad to hear how your Sankirtana programs are expanding. So continue in this way. So far as book distribution is concerned, this program should also be given much energy. Also, for distributing our books, we have initiated the Life Membership Program. This program has been very successful here in India. If you can develop it nicely there in San Diego, it will be a great asset to your preaching work. So cooperate with Karandhara Prabhu and develop it nicely. Presently, we are in Gorakhpur, one of the important cities in northern India, and we are guests of the Gita Press authorities. Here, we are negotiating for a plot of land on the University of Gorakhpur campus for establishing a center. If we are successful in our attempt, it will be unique in all the world, and soon more and more college campuses will follow. We want to influence these misguided college students so that they might take to the Krishna conscious movement very seriously. And if we can establish a seat of Krishna consciousness, these students may take their doctorate degree in Krishna consciousness and go out and preach all over the world. From here, I shall be going to Mayapur and then to Bombay and should be returning to US by the first week of April. Please offer my blessings to Sandy, Pat, Bill, and Jeff Prabhus and all the others there. Hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any take points, Prabhuji?
Um, Prabhu, I think the two things. I think he's very pleased with the Sankirtana program that is this Prabhu is doing, and he thinks that this is a good way to expand the Krishna conscious program, and also with the book distribution. He's emphasizing that all energy should be put in that because by distributing them by the books, he's been successful in initiating the life membership program, and he's encouraging him to do the same in San Diego. The other thing I think is very important is where he's emphasizing he's very pleased that uh, he's negotiating for a plot of land in University of Gorakhpur. I think campus. I think this is important because his idea is that if Krishna conscious movement can be incorporated to the students when they're in the college, then they can be they can really get doctrinated in the Krishna conscious movement seriously, and this should help them to also preach the Krishna conscious movement all over the world. These are the main points that I have taken away, Prabhu, from this letter.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely summarized doctrine in Krishna consciousness. Very beautiful word. Any other comments, devotee?
Krishna Prabhu, you know, this life member here mentioned, so what exactly, how that work? Like, so they will get the free accommodation when they go temple like that?
Yes, Mataji. For example, I got life membership in ISKCON Tirupati, where I have paid around, I think 10,000 rupees or something like that, or 20,000 rupees long time back, around 13 years ago. So whenever I go to the temple, I wanted to book any room there. So it is for free. I can stay for 1 or 2 nights for the festivals and serve the temple, and all my family can stay. That is for the life members, but we need to book in advance.
Yeah.
And not only the temple, throughout all the ISKCON temples.
Because I also become life member, but I was not understand what is concept behind that. Because yeah, okay.
So you can go to any temple in the world, and especially in India. But outside of the India, I think we may not get, for example, Bhaktivedanta Manor, they may not allocate accommodations for the life members. But if it is India, in different temples, you can stay 2 nights in a year, and each temple.
But I think Bombay is very expensive. Maybe they're not allowed.
Yeah, there are some temples, so accommodation is maybe very expensive, or they may not have that feature there. But all of the temples generally, yes, we will get 1 or 2 days accommodation for free for
So
life.
you have to advance, very advanced. You have to book.
Yes, we need to book.
Okay, okay. Even the Tirupati, they allowed to do that as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Prabhuji, to interrupt. So, is it like even in ISKCON temples also it's available, like for to
Yeah.
stay?
It is ISKCON temples only. Yes, Mataji.
Like in Tirupati, we have a like right as Mataji said, like similar way we will get in ISKCON temples. Is it that correct, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. If you become a member in one temple, you can go to any other ISKCON temples and then stay 1 or 2 nights there in the accommodations and then serve the temple.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. I'm not aware of this, so thank you.
Prabhu, my father used to be a life member. I understood that you get also accommodation in the because he became life member in India in Mayapur. So uh, I thought he got the facility also to stay in the temple accommodations abroad also, but I'm not sure about that, Prabhu, because so maybe ha- is it worth checking it, Prabhu, for you?
Yes, Prabhuji, it is allowed even abroad as well, but according to the temple facilities. For example, Bhaktivedanta Manar, when I asked them, they said, yes, whatever you said is true, but in Bhaktivedanta Manar, we don't have that facility for life members like that.
Oh, okay, okay, Prabhu, understood.
But where there is maybe less less crowd is there and less expensive, possibly they may be allowing us to go and stay there. But especially it is available in India.
Okay, Prabhu, okay, understood.
Okay. Any other comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, just adding to the conversation. Yes, earlier when Prabhupada started this in the 70s, it was available all across the world. So his disciples, when they used to travel, they used to get that facility even in outside India. But now, with of course with inflation and all that, they haven't like it's as you mentioned, it's still 20,000 you paid 13 years ago. So like now also it's less than 50,000 for life membership. But of course, if you take that value in pound or dollar, it's not a lot. But to have family, to accommodate family of four or something around the world, it becomes quite expensive. I think that's why outside, think India, I'm not sure, but as Prabhu mentioned, in the maybe in the quieter part of the temples, they would around the world they allow, but in India the facility, yeah, most of the temples they do. But yeah, but um, Mumbai again is an exception because of the high cost of living there. So I think these factors come into play most of the time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today is Thursday. The evening at 8 o'clock we have a Krishna session, and the evening japa at 6:30 p.m. And also one more update on the Lakshmi contribution towards the Historica. So now got instruction from Vipin Vihari Prabhuji about that to liaise with Chakrapani Prabhuji to send them Lakshmi to Prabhuji. Yeah, maybe whatever the Chakrapani Prabhuji is going to suggest. So I'm liaising with the Prabhuji. Either it is going to be the personal account or historic account. So we shall go according to Prabhuji's instructions. Okay, this is update from me. Okay, any other comments or any thoughts? I want to share anything on Krishna consciousness. Kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय श्री
Jai,
प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai.
हरे कृष्णा कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन